Hello and welcome to your week 2 video lesson. This is English 108B and we are in Unit 1, Evaluate a Speaker. All right, what is going on this week? We're in week 2. The dates will be 3/21 to 25. So on Monday and Wednesday, we have our Class Connect sessions at 9 a.m. You have a content lessons 1.03, 1.04, and 1.06 this week. You have a quiz, a 1.03 quiz on Monday worth 6 points. And due on Friday, you have the 1.06 Evaluate a Speaker assignment worth 30 points. And as usual, the week 3 video lesson will be posted on that Friday. So what are we covering today? We're going to give you some reminders about the baseline assessment and the All About Me. We're going to introduce the 1.06 Evaluate a Speaker assignment. We're going to go over questions and vocabulary from this assignment, and we're going to look at the jobs of sentences. So let's get started. Just a reminder, due last week was your baseline assessment on formative.com and the All About Me writing assignment. Those were both due on Wednesday. Where's my highlighter? Wednesday, March 16th. If you have not submitted them yet, don't worry. You can still receive full points. Remember, everything in this class you can submit until the very last day, and you will not lose points. And you can also redo things if you get a low score, and you can see how to improve your score by looking at the feedback. So if you haven't done those assignments yet, go ahead and go do them. All right, so on to our lesson for this week. The first thing we have to do is we have to talk about evaluating. What does it mean to evaluate? Well, according to our baseline assessment and according to the definition of evaluate, to evaluate means to analyze something and then to form an opinion about it. So you think about it, you go, what do I think about this thing? And then you form an opinion. Do I like it? Do I not? What's good about it? What's not so good about it? What happened well and what happened not so well? So this week, you will be evaluating a speaker. So the 1.06 Evaluate a Speaker assignment is going to be due this Friday. Let me highlight that. This Friday, March 25th. You will be asked, what is their argument and what are their reasonings and evidence? Is their argument a good one? Why or why not? And you'll be asked a couple questions about it, and then you'll be asked to evaluate it. So the first thing you have to do is you have to find the assignment. So let's look at that. If you want to use content, you go to Content, Search by Unit. So we're in Unit 1, and you go to 1.06, Evaluate a Speaker Assignment, and there you have it. If you use Plan, go to Plan, and click on March 24th, that's the day the assignment starts. If you click on More over here, it will take you to this same thing. You can also go to Tools and go to Assignments, and that will also take you to the 1.06 assignment. This is something that I cannot stress enough. When you get to this page for the 1.06 assignment, you have two things to download. So there is this 1.06 Evaluate a Speaker assignment. Download that. There is also this English 108B 1.06 rubric. Download that too. That is how we're going to be grading you. So once again, cannot stress this enough. Download all of these documents whenever you see anything in that assessment or assignment folder and something is due and worth points. Download the whole shebang. When you open the 1.06 Evaluate a Speaker assignment on your Word document, this is what you get. So view or listen to a speech by a famous person and then evaluate in writing. So let's highlight that. You can use the links below to view speeches on YouTube or find a speech online elsewhere, or you can use one from this course. So the links are there. Sorry. As you experience the speech, identify the speaker's viewpoint and notice the reasons and evidence they use to support it. Listen for evidence and logic that is either valid or fallacious. Be attentive for language that is either appropriately emotional or unfairly loaded. Take notes as the speech progresses. Then read and answer the questions in complete sentences. So don't answer them in bullets, answer them in complete sentences. When you have finished this assignment, submit the document on the OLS. If you need help doing that, we can talk about that in class. So let's take a little minute to remind ourselves of the steps to success to completing this assignment. Number one, we're going to watch, listen to, or read a speech of our choice. So remember, we're going to use that YouTube link or find something from the OLS that we want to cover. We're going to answer some questions about that speech, and we're going to evaluate the speech and its reasoning. So let's take a look at what that will look like. Alrighty friends, so when you click on that link to YouTube, this is what pops up. So there's a bunch of speeches from famous celebrities that you can find, and you can use any one of those speeches, as long as it's school appropriate, to build your evaluated speaker assignment. So once you figure out what speech you want to use, we're going to answer some questions. So there's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go through them together. So your first question is, what is the speaker's viewpoint? What is their claim? So let's highlight. A claim is what a speaker believes about what they are saying. So it's a yes or no opinion. For example, school should not have class before 10 a.m. So school should not start until 10 a.m. That is my claim. That is what I believe, and that is what I'm communicating with my speech. Number 2, what reason does the speaker provide to support his or her viewpoint or claim? So a reason shows why the speaker believes what they believe. So a claim answers the question, what? What are you talking about? What are you arguing? What is your opinion? A reason answers why. So why is this important? Why do you believe this? For example, my claim is that school should start at 10 a.m. and my reason, let me underline this, is because teenagers need more sleep than what they normally get. So my claim is that school starts at 10 a.m. My reason, my why, is because teenagers need more sleep. Alrighty, number 3, what evidence does the speaker provide to support their reasonings? So evidence are facts that support the speaker's reasons. They are proof that supports your argument. So think of it a little detective or an investigator looking for hints and clues and proof. Remember that word, proof and facts. Evidence are the facts and the proof that supports your argument. So for example, according to Johns Hopkins Medicine, teenagers need about 9.5 to 10 hours of sleep a night so that they can develop their brain and body. So that is evidence for why school should not start until 10 a.m. All right, number 4, whoopsies. What counterclaims does the speaker address and how do they respond to them? So a counterclaim is what the other side thinks of an argument. So remember, your claim is a yes or no question. The counterclaim is addressing the opposite side of what you chose. So if your answer was yes, the counterclaim is when you talk about what people who think no believe, and then you shoot it down. So, for example, a counterclaim to my argument that school shouldn't start until 10 a.m. is that some people think that school shouldn't start at a later time. They believe that having school start later in the day will limit the amount of learning that can be done in a day. So when you shoot the counterclaim down, that is called a rebuttal. For example, this is how I would rebut this person's counterclaim. However, if students are tired, we don't learn much anyway. If students are able to get their required amount of sleep, they will be better prepared for any learning. So these two things work together in order to form one thing. So you address what the other side says, and then you say, that's a good argument, but I'm still right. All right, what examples of fallacious or faulty reasoning, distorted or weak evidence, and exaggerated language occur in the speech? So a fallacy is misleading or incorrect details that do not support the argument. So fallacious reasoning is reasoning that doesn't support the argument. There maybe is an opinion in there when, we shouldn't really have opinions in there because we should have facts and proof. It's evidence that is distorted or weak. It means that the evidence is not enough to support the claim. So think of a tower. Think of when you're playing Jenga and somebody removes one of those bottom tiers and the tower just goes. So that's what happens when your argument is full of fallacious reasoning. It means that it can't stand up and it can't support your argument. It means your argument cannot stay standing on its own because it's weak. Okay, let's go ahead and see some practice sentences with fallacious reasoning. So what we're going to do is we're going to read all of these sentences and we're going to decide, are they credible or is it a fallacy? Not a fallacy. All right, so number 1, studies show that teenagers need more sleep than both younger kids and adults. That is credible because it comes from a source of authority. So I'm going to write authority. Teenagers hate waking up early, so they shouldn't have to. That is a fallacy because it is an opinion. Starting school at a later time will make the world a better place. That is a fallacy. How will starting school later make the world a better place? That's such a huge, huge generalization that is not supported and cannot be supported by any evidence. So we're going to write exaggeration. And hopefully that's spelled right because that looks very not spelled right to me. If students get a full night of rest, they can better function in school. That is credible because it's true. And it's true regardless of when the school day starts. So if you have an early school day, maybe a better answer than moving the start date of school back, because we don't have control over that, is going to bed at an earlier time if you're able. The more rest you get, the better you can function. Homework takes too long and it does not help students learn. That is a fallacy because it's not related to our argument. So I'm going to write not related. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is write a short 1-paragraph evaluation of the speaker's argument. So this is where you evaluate the speaker. After you've answered all of these questions and identified the parts of the argument, you can think about, did they do this argument successfully? Discuss whether the speaker used valid reasoning and sufficient evidence to support their viewpoint. Was the speech effective? Did you believe them? Did you not believe them? Were you swayed to their side or were you not swayed to your side? Why or why not? What was strong and what was not so strong? So what did the speaker do good? What did the speaker do not so good? What could they have improved on if they did this speech again? So you're going to write a short 1-paragraph evaluation of what you thought of the speech. This is the jobs of sentences. So if you've had our class before, if you've had Mrs. Seward and Mr. Jacinto, you know that we go over the jobs of sentences a lot. That is a huge thing in our class. So you have a topic sentence where you state the main idea. You have a concrete detail which provides proof from the text and can begin with for example. You have a commentary sentence where you put in your thoughts and inferences. It can begin with this shows that. You have a commentary again, so 2 commentaries with your thoughts and inferences. This one can begin with this is because. And a concluding sentence that restates your main idea, and it can begin with as a result. Here is an example paragraph that might look similar to yours. I'm not going to read it to you, but you can pause this recording and you can read it yourself. What I want to point out to you is the color coding here. So here I have a topic sentence right here. You can go ahead and pause the recording and read that. I have a concrete detail right here in green. I actually have 2 concrete details here where I talk about what evidence the speaker uses and how the speech was effective. And I have another concrete detail here that talks about how the speech was not effective. And I have commentary sentences in blue. Once again, you can pause the recording and look at those. that talk about why I thought that the reasons here or the evidence that I gave in my concrete detail supported the argument or not. And again here, supporting the argument or not. And then a concluding sentence in pink, which begins with as a result and just sums up what I thought of the argument. So once again, if you want to read this, you can go ahead and pause it, but I'm not going to read it to you here because we don't have time. Okay, so what did we cover in this video? Did we accomplish what we needed to accomplish, or what we set out to accomplish? So we went over reminders about the baseline assessment and the all about me. Check. We introduced the 1.06 evaluated speaker assignment. Check. That is due when? On Friday. We went over questions and vocabulary. So we talked about claim, we talked about reasons, we talked about evidence, we talked about counterclaims, we talked about fallacies and fallacious reasonings, and we also looked at the jobs of sentences and saw an example paragraph of how that might look. So that's it. We did what we needed to do. Yay! One last reminder before you go, starting on week 3, so the 29th, Class Connect sessions are going to be moved to Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So this week, for week 3, we will be meeting on Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. Starting the next week, on week 3, we're going to be moving Class Connect sessions to Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. So stick around for those changes. All right, and that is your week 2 video lesson. See you on Monday at 9 a.m. and on Wednesday too. Bye!